Hi, I'm Gabriel Nelson Sears of Gabriel of the Light. Today I'm going to talk to you about my three favorite unweighted tuning forks, how I use them, and why they're my favorites. First, I'd like to talk to you about the manufacturer. They were created, the frequencies, by a dear friend of mine, Roxanne Conticelli. Full disclosure, she is a friend, but I love these forks. Even if she wasn't a friend, I would use them. She's created a set of three called the Gabriel of the Light bundle, and these are the ones that I use in every session, and those are the 108 hertz, the 174 hertz, and the 216 hertz. Now, what do we mean by hertz? Hertz is simply a measurement, and it means one sound wave per second. So the 108, that means that the waves, the vibrations move at 108 times a second. Uh, so of the three, it's the slowest. And I find that starting with the 108, particularly if someone has a little bit of anxiety, it's less intrusive. Or for example, if it's a first time client, I used to start out with the 174 all the time, and it felt like it took a little longer before the person was open to actually release and provide me with information for a session. The way that I approach the sessions are, it's the same with Reiki. Reiki or any of the energy medicine is permission based. So I ask if I have their permission to tap into their soul essence. And when they say yes and give me that permission, that feeds my conscious mind with text, words, images, colors around something that they're ready to release. And so whenever I see or hear something, I'll ask in session. By the way, before I forget, shameless public service announcement, there is a level 1 integrated tuning fork certificate course taught by yours truly, and that is near beautiful Clearwater, Florida in Palm Harbor, and that's this coming weekend, February 9th to the 11th. It's February 9th from 5:30 to 8:30. Saturday the 10th from 5:30 to 8:30 in the evening, and then all day Sunday from 10:30 to 5:30. And that's being held at Serenity Now Books and Gifts on Tampa Road in Palm Harbor. It's going to be mostly hands-on practice. I'm going to share with the class all the different modalities that I use, how I use the unweighted tuning forks, a little bit of the technology and science behind it, ethics, work ethics, how to work with clients, and how to start getting the intuition activated, because it's largely about just trusting what you're getting and receiving. So anyways, let's go back to the forks themselves. The 108 is a slow, and I'll activate it now. Now these forks can also be used for distant healing, just like this. I've used them during COVID. I had a lot of remote clients, and I would do this just like I am now. It's the same as distant Reiki. The energy medicine, when we use the power of our mind and the intention, and there's that agreement, then things come into alignment to both give and receive. There's a little quantum physics behind it. There's a theorem called Bell's theory of entanglement, and that is in laboratory, one nanoparticle that's observed in conjunction with a nanoparticle light years away in space, after a while they start coming into alignment together. It's also called entrainment. And the common denominator in the equation was observation. So I was really excited when I heard about that, about Bell's theory of entanglement, because of the implications it has for distant Reiki, which we know it works, but now we have quantum theorem to prove that. So the 108 is it's a nice gentle. And when you're using the tuning forks, the more relaxed you are, make sure you're standing, in a relaxed position, feet shoulder width apart, body in alignment. You're doing your own breath work. In the beginning, I was holding these so tightly that my fingers would start to cramp up. Same thing when I first learned Reiki years ago. That feeling that you have to do something really hard with your and have your hands tense to really, really channel. And it's not about effort. This is all of these energy modalities are effortless. They require the mind and the mindfulness, but it's really about being in a relaxed, open state. And so after I've gone around with the 108, I will then pick up the 174. So the 108 provides me some information, and then the 174 helps to detect what's going on. Whoops, hope that didn't blast out your ears. And as you develop in proficiency, or maybe right away, but for me it took a couple of years with the tuning forks, again, I started getting information coming in, so my intuition was expanding. So after I've gone around the table, however many times is required, with the 174, I then move on to the 216 hertz. And this is a lighter, more joyous sound. It's just lighthearted. It's a feel-good resonance. It's nice, light, and bright. And I use this more for bundling into the energy field, the electrobiomagnetic field. But it's this torus shape, like an oval donut. So that is all around us. And so visualizing bringing in someone's energy. And so in essence, we're calling in their life force energy after doing the release work. And that's just one simple example of it. So what, Gabriel Nelson, what do these forks do? Well, let me tell you what they do. I have, and when I say I, it's small I, because I'm not doing, people call me a healer and I'm not. People heal themselves. All the great masters said this. You know, the master teacher Jesus, you know, he didn't take credit and get puffy for the healings. No, he said, your faith has healed you. And that's another way of helping people remind them about their sovereignty, their divinity. You have that power. Our minds are that powerful. So when we use the mind and intention in combination with the sounds, that's where the magic starts to happen. I have clients that have had anxiety, insomnia, reoccurring fears, obsessive compulsive thoughts, self-sabotage, self-negative behaviors, or negative behaviors and thoughts, all shift out through the tuning forks and reframing the mind. So an example of them, I'll get into a little bit about metaphysics. Now we're switching gears just a little, but the universal law always responds in the affirmative. It's love and it's receptive, and you know, so whatever we say, that's what we receive. So for example, if I say, oh, I'm a disaster in the relationship world. Well, guess what? My relationships, you know, intimate or not, are going to be disasters because that's what I'm calling forth. And in sessions, you can start to become aware of what those internal dialogues are. What are the stories that people are really stuck and invested in? And when we start helping them to reframe the narrative into, well, what would it look like? What if your relationships were full of harmony and love and clear communication and trust? What would that look like? Feel the difference? So again, the tuning forks in combination with mindfulness helps to eliminate stuck patterns and behaviors. And it's just magical to see. It's a privilege for me to be a vessel for people to do their work. They're easy to learn. It takes practice, but they are so easy. So again, I invite you. There's 3 seats left. I keep the classes small. I keep them limited to 6 people, so there's a lot of practice time during the 12 hours of the course. There's 3 seats left. If you're interested in learning more or in registering, you can go to my website, gabrielofthelight.com/classes. And then if you're interested, you may already know tuning forks and are using them, but if you would like the Gabriel of the Light bundle, you can go to my shop page, so gabrielofthelight.com, and then click on shop, and you'll find the bundles there. These are $190 for the set of 3. It's a really wonderful price. It comes in a velvet pouch. I personally like using the hockey pucks, so I get those separately. There also are smaller activators on the Harmony Healing 108 website. Again, it's a matter of personal preference. For me, the smaller ones, I feel like I'm going to nick my finger, and you don't want to strike your finger with these. But the hockey pucks, it's a hard plastic, and it just creates a beautiful resonance with a very light tap, or activation is what we call that. We're pinging or activating. So again, all that information is on my website, gabrielofthelight.com. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me, email me at info@gabrielofthelight.com. Have a wonderful day and good vibrations.